And we are going now to a special interview as we say good morning to the governor of the volunteer state, Governor Bill Lee. Governor, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing today?
I am doing great, and I really appreciate you joining us. How are things in the capital city?
Glad to be back. Glad to be back.
Well, Governor, we've got a few minutes here, and like I said, I do appreciate your time. We're joined by the governor of Tennessee, Bill Lee. And Governor, one of the main reasons we wanted to speak with you, your reaction to to Roe v. Wade being overturned by the United States Supreme Court on Friday.
Yeah, gosh, for all of my life, for the most of my life, I'm 62 years old, so for the most of my life, I have been hopeful that there would be a day that unborn children in this country would be protected, and certainly hopeful that that would happen in our state. And I said when I signed both pieces of legislation, but in particular the heartbeat bill, that in my view it may be one of the most important things that I did as governor. And I will say this, I did not anticipate when I signed that piece of legislation a couple of years ago, not even, that it would that would actually take effect. And as of yesterday, as you know, the Sixth Circuit upheld that heartbeat bill, and and abortion is illegal in the state at the onset of a heartbeat. And I am incredibly grateful to all the people that put in the work. I'm grateful to God for allowing this to become so in our state, and most grateful that there are children today whose lives will be spared because of this action.
We're joined by the governor of Tennessee, Bill Lee, here on Mix 104.1 and MixTV.tv. And let me also go back in the statement put out by your office, Governor, on Friday, the day the United States Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The Tennessee laws which were enacted going back 3 years to 2019. One of them, of course, the trigger law. And if you can tell us about that and what that means in our state.
Yeah. So first of all, we did pass a heartbeat bill that was approved yesterday by the federal courts that went into effect immediately, and that was as of yesterday morning sometime. There is also a second piece of legislation that we passed in 2019 that is a trigger law, as it's referred to. And basically what it does is once Roe versus Wade is overturned, the Attorney General notifies the courts. There's a procedure there, but basically within 30 days or just 30 days after notification, that law goes into effect, and that law in effect bans abortion for any pregnancy that's clinically diagnosed. So it in effect puts a full ban on abortion in our state, with an exception for the life and the physical endangerment of the mother. And it's important I say that too, because one of the things that we really want to do is recognize that abortion involves a mother and a child and a father. But most importantly, that we provide, not only do we protect the life of the unborn, but that we provide supports for women. Many of these are women in crisis. They're a crisis pregnancy. So we have, for example, extended the postpartum benefits for Medicaid mothers from 2 months to 12 months just in this past year. We have increased our TennCare program for maternal health, holistic maternal health. We're improving our adoption system and our foster care system. We have funded women's health clinics across the state, because a lot of women that will need services will find them through these women's health clinics across the state. And we've provided funding for ultrasound machines, et cetera. So there's a real need to not only look at what we've done, but to continue to look at ways to support women in the middle of this crisis as well.
Yes, we're joined by Governor Bill Lee. And we're seeing around the nation also, Governor, legal challenges. We know there was one in Louisiana yesterday, some other states. Do you anticipate that in Tennessee?
I suspect there will be legal challenges, but I think what we've found is that the ultimate legal decision-making body in the country, the Supreme Court of the United States, has ruled that our laws are, in fact, constitutional and are legal. And so that is the greatest protection we have against the pushback. I'm sure there'll be challenges, as there always are, but I'm pretty hopeful about what those outcomes will be.
We're joined by Governor Bill Lee, Mix 1041, MixTV.tv. We've also abortion in pill form. This has become a big topic since Friday and crossing state lines. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so there are a lot of different issues out there that are yet to be answered about timing and when and what is an abortion and when does a chemical abortion actually become an abortion, and when does that cross the law in the state? So there's yet to be details worked out, but that'll happen over the next 30 days, and we'll know the answer to a lot of those questions.
Governor Lee, you hit on this earlier, but what do you say to women in this state who quite frankly do not share your opinion and do not share the opinion of the majority of the Supreme Court? And you know what? Maybe they're worried. They're scared. They're nervous. What do you say to that lady today?
I think that what we want to do is, to the degree that we can provide assistance, support, information. It's not just a government response either. I think what we're going to see is nonprofits and organizations and faith communities surround these women. If we can improve the health services for them, if we can improve benefits like the postpartum care for them, if we can create family supports, and not just through the government, but through the community. And I'm encouraging the community to weigh in on this. We've worked really hard to get to this day, but we also need to work really hard to recognize and understand that this is a very complicated and difficult situation for a lot of women. And we care deeply about the life of those children, and that is the ultimate protection here. But we also care deeply about the lives of those women. And we believe that we can do both, and so we want to increase that support that's surrounding those women. I think we can do that, and I think you'll see that in Tennessee.
Governor, we have about 1 minute left, and let me go to a completely separate issue, and one in which the Republican National Committee says that Nashville, Tennessee, is one of two finalists to host the Republican National Convention next year in Nashville. It's between Milwaukee and Nashville. Now, I told your colleague, Senator Blackburn, we need to send Dolly Parton in to close the deal. But anyway, is it going to happen in Nashville? We understand there's some blowback from city leaders there, including the mayor.
Yeah, I certainly hope it happens in Nashville. We asked and said we would welcome any convention that comes to this city and to this state. When you have 40,000 people that are going to travel to your state and be here for a week or for many days in a row, that is an economic boom to the entire state, creates tax revenue and economic activity. And those are the kind of things that, and frankly, we're a world-class city and we can put on world-class events. And when we do, the world sees it. And it is good not just for Nashville, but it's good for Tennessee to be to be a destination spot for major global events like that. So, yeah, I hope it happens. I hope the city council and the mayor recognize that this is most importantly an economic activity idea and a travel tourism issue for the state of Tennessee. And tourism is our number 2 economy in this state, so we should do everything we can to support it. And practically, this makes a lot of sense. I certainly hope it happens.
Governor Bill Lee, Governor, I really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir, very much. There he is, Governor Bill Lee this morning, and his first interview since Roe v. Wade was overturned in this nation, and giving what is happening in Tennessee. And the governor did allude to the big news yesterday that the Sixth Circuit Court of Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, the United States Court of Appeals, lifted a nearly 2-year-old injunction that had blocked the attempt to ban abortions after around the 6th week of pregnancy. And again, the governor mentioning that in his comments with us, as you just heard or saw this morning, also saying that when I asked him about legal challenges, which we are beginning to see nationwide in states that are banning, either have banned or will ban abortion, following the United States Supreme Court ruling, he said the legal challenges will come, but he believes that, of course, the United States Supreme Court is the chief court in the land. And the governor, of course, talking about the support, as the governor's office mentioned in the statement Friday, for families in crisis and investing in public-private partnerships that are supporting families expectant mothers in need. And the governor mentioning that in our exclusive interview this morning. If you're just joining us, you can go back and watch the full interview with Governor Bill Lee on mixtv.tv. Mixtv.tv. That should be available for you in just the next little while. And we do appreciate the governor making his first stop since this historic Supreme Court ruling with us here on Mix 104.1 and mixtv.tv. That's going to do it for us this morning. We're going to send you back to regular programming on Mix 104.1 radio for mixtv.tv. We'll be back with Mix Mornings tomorrow morning, or if news breaks out, we'll break in. I'm Steve Hartline reporting.